I noticed that like you have the typing dots.
Yeah.
And the typing would go for a second or two, and I have a paragraph like this long of a response. And I'm like, that's too fast for text to speech.
Old
Like,
boy's just
even,
hacking away on the old keyboard over there, just getting with it.
yeah. And I'm like, all right, are you AI or a human or what? And as soon as I mentioned, are you AI, I got blocked.
Yeah.
It's, oh my God. I've been arguing with an AI bot for half an hour.
Dude, it's horrible, but it's freaking hilarious. Like when you put
Oh,
it like that, like
yes.
you got to laugh
Yeah.
about it, or else you'll want to go blow somebody up. But
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's like removing the damn, I just lost $250 out of it.
right,
It's yeah, I was got here clearly,
dude.
but yeah, and how many people would have like, all right, and then set the. All right, Adam, we're back. It's been about 6 weeks, unfortunately. We've had quite a bit going on. This is sure to be a busy episode. Let's just jump right into it, right? Welcome to the Automotive Misconduct Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dustin.
And I'm Adam.
So, since we last left, it was just before we had the auction at the shop, and that went fine. There was small issues, but all in all, that went well. The most important thing, like the sales number, was good. So that really helped. Any other issues, you're just like, oh, fine, whatever, it's done. Then after that, you might have seen the video that was posted after our last episode of the shop afterwards, and basically what I was facing to clean that out. And I had spent that entire week cleaning the shop out and making it ready for sale. Mm-hmm. That was actually probably, other than exhaust clips on this channel, our most successful video.
Right.
Strangely.
Whatever.
It felt weird.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Sweet. Dad's passed on this video, and it's going to be the most viewed video.
Yeah. People like sharing another's misery, apparently. I don't know. But so that went well. Got that all ready to go. I guess the full-on update for everybody that doesn't know, it's for sale. Everything's good. Like, basically, I'm done with my part of that. It's in the realtor's hands now. Mm-hmm. We really won't be talking much about that going forward based on how that goes. So, what was next? So the next thing I dealt with was I got scammed. And what I was trying to do was buy long tube headers for the truck that I had just bought that we talked about on the previous episode. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, it must have happened semi-recently, because I remember in the past having them be widely available, but nobody makes long tube headers for that platform anymore.
It's kind of weird.
Like almost, yeah, all the normal like outlets mm-hmm. all have some type of shorty available, but I guess for a long tube, like is what I wanted to do,
yeah,
I have to find them used somehow. And if you've ever tried to buy used parts on Marketplace or anywhere else, like mm-hmm. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about here, and I'm sure most people have. And I got suckered into, I posted in a RAM group mm-hmm. that I was looking for these parts, and somebody posted and they had a business page on Facebook, I believe it was from that account. Mm-hmm. And they had plenty of post history. Like to me, everything checked out, which I mean, it didn't, but
seemed legit.
To me, it checked out. Yeah. Like it seemed legit at first. And the guy, it seemed like the person was very friendly and like, hey, I just need a little bit of information from you for shipping mm-hmm. and send $250 to this account and everything's fine. And all right, cool. Like the price was a little bit like red flaggy.
Right.
Like I would think I'd pay like double that, but it wasn't like $5 or something
Yeah.
crazy. And if you've got a used set of these headers laying around, it's not like there's going to be a lot of people clamoring for them, clearly.
Right.
If all the manufacturers have stopped making them,
Clearly,
it's for a
the
reason.
demand is not there.
So okay, like he's just looking to offload this stuff. And all right, cool. And the shipping time came, and I received this tracking number. And the next day, I get this text from Express Delivery and telling me that I need to spend $213 more as a deposit, like safety deposit, for them to deliver my parts.
Yep.
I'm like, I have never ever had to do that,
No.
ever. Massive red flag here. Caught me on the first one apparently,
Right.
but so I hit up the seller and like, what's going on here? Like, you quoted me a shipped price and
Yeah.
I haven't got my parts.
Right.
So I need a refund or my parts. That's the only thing that's happening here. And so I was like messing this guy over Facebook Messenger and like back and forth, and I'm just like, refund. Where are my parts? You quoted a shipped price.
Yeah.
This was not part of the deal.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like eventually, like after arguing on Messenger for this long, I noticed that like you have the typing dots.
Yeah.
And the typing would go for a second or two, and I have a paragraph like this long of a response. And I'm like, that's too fast for text to speech. Like,
old boy's just
even
hacking away on the old keyboard over there, just getting with it.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, are you AI or a human or what? And as soon as I mentioned, are you AI, I got blocked.
Yeah.
It's, oh my God. I've been arguing with an AI bot for half an hour.
Dude, it's horrible, but it's freaking hilarious. Like when you put it like that. Like,
yes.
You got to laugh about it or else you'll want to go blow somebody up. But
oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's like removing the damn, I just lost $250 out of it.
Right.
It's, yeah, I was got here, clearly.
Dude.
But, yeah, and how many people would have like, all right, and then set the, apparently somebody has or
They
continues
trying.
to.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's, yeah, and I've talking to other people. It's real common for this to happen through like Zelle.
Oh, yeah.
And it might have been you that mentioned that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that with Zelle being the big red flag for sure. And I actually had an instance like back when we lived in Oklahoma, but this was back when Craigslist was still huge before like Marketplace became available. And I was shopping for another car down there. I was looking for another Mustang, and I found one on Craigslist. Looked great. Kid talked it up. Price was decent. So I drove 8 hours down to Katy, Texas to go pick this freaking car up. I had my wife now, but then my daughter and a whole glove box full of cash. And I get down there in this parking lot to meet this dude. Now, the car was beautiful. I was going to drive it home. I was like, same color as mine, the mineral gray. It was an 03 GT sharp car. And I saw this car pulls in the parking lot, and it is 100% not the car that this dude sent me pictures of. And he was a younger kid, had his mom and his dad with him. And I just shut the glove box, told Sarah just to hang out for a second, and then I'd be right back. And I get out of the Trailblazer and I walk over to this car, like shaking my head. And this kid was like, hey, here it is, this and that. I was like, where's the car that you sent me pictures of? Right. Same color, same body style. But
at least he managed that.
This dude flat out told me he didn't have any pictures on his phone for the listing, so he grabbed some off Google Images. Like, I just drove 8 hours down by Katy. And the amount of fury that was going through my body at that time, I was freaking pissed. And he's, what'll it take to get you to, buy the car? And I'm like, dude, I have to drive this thing from Katy, Texas to Oklahoma City, which is almost 9 hours. I'm like, and I'll go buy a trailer and I'll tow the damn thing home.
Right.
Oh my God. I was
Right.
so pissed off. And I told him, I was like, you're lucky my family's here and you're lucky your family's here because I'm about to beat the shit out of you. Like, I was so pissed.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
furious. And this thing had the side skirts were busted. The hood latch was a pair of vice grips on a cable because the latch was broken. This thing was destroyed. The rims weren't even the rims. Nothing was the same other than the color. And
Right.
it was a mineral gray Mustang was the only thing it had going for it.
Was it even a GT?
Yeah, it was a GT, but it was
Okay.
my wife's looking at me like, you're not buying that, are you? I'm like, F no. Like we are like I'm
Right.
about to drive over this kid. And I was like, you couldn't pay me enough to take this car off your hands. So hopefully,
Right.
hopefully you go home and stub your toe and step on some Legos or something because what I
Right.
want to do to
Yeah.
you, like I can't. So yeah, we drove all the way back. That's always been my motto of Texas sucks. And that's why Texas sucks. Sorry if I have any fans or any viewers from Texas, but your state is a disaster, my friend.
Man, that's awful
Yeah.
to waste 18, 20 hours of your time
Yeah, then I had to get
at a
then
minimum.
I had to get a hotel down there too. So that was even more pissed off when I had to rent a hotel because I'm not gonna drive 9 hours home in the middle of it. Now I was like, Haley
No.
was young; she was only like 2 or 3. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. If you've been a dad, you know how a toddler does in the car for that long.
uh, oh, it
Like
was.
they don't give a rip, dude. Like past like half an hour, it's get me out of this chair.
I was the toddler in the car on the way home. I was so damn pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, dude. Then on the drive home, everything pissed me off. Of course, I get like, I just want to drive people off the road. Like, why is your grass so green? Like, you suck.
This cone, why is it
Yeah,
there?
why is this cone in the road?
Sucks.
God, stupid traffic.
Oh man.
And then you have to go through
That's yeah.
when you were in your trucking. Did you ever get to go through like Dallas and stuff, Fort Worth area?
Oh yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
interchange 35. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it sends you over the edge.
Oh, for sure.
I can imagine
You,
in a
you,
truck.
oh, dude. A little off topic, but I'll just keep it. Chicago and New York are. You couldn't pay me to do that
Oh,
again.
I'm sure.
No way. Do the preparation and everything, like a pull over and call the place I was going and get directions from my company, get directions from Google, like any read the
Somebody
map.
you
Yeah,
got.
oh yeah. Yeah, like one of these is going to be correct.
Hopefully,
Good Lord.
we
Right.
drove through Chicago in my pickup when I went and picked up my hood, and I was severely. My anxieties. I had no fingernails left. I couldn't imagine doing it in the rig.
Oh, yeah, that's low bridge area.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that, I think they average one hit a day or maybe even more than that.
dude. That
Anyway,
yeah.
cool. So yeah, that was me getting scammed. So hopefully to our viewers or listeners, you can watch out for this kind of thing. I asked for a picture of the parts and he sent me a picture of a set of long tubes and I cross-referenced I knew the part number I was looking for the brand. And in the picture was a box that had the part number. So I'm like, all right. Like, I swear I thought I did my due diligence, but like, I didn't ask for a blood sample. Sorry.
Yeah. You should have crap in this box so I can get this stool sample.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes you distrust the internet even more
Yeah.
if that's possible.
It's
Like,
literally
if
cash
I'm
in hand,
not
parts in hand.
right, yeah. If I'm not in person, holding on to like headers, especially like having this shopping experience, people will just post long tube headers, $150.
Yeah.
And they don't even post like what
What do they go
application it's
to?
for. Yeah, and I've seen plenty of them like, oh, there's our headers for a 318. Okay, what, like, again, what platform?
What body we talking about?
Because that matters.
Seeing as how they put that in everything back then, Jesus.
Yeah, no kidding. And say it's across the board. If you search for something on Marketplace, like it'll show you completely unrelated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Mustang stuff that's like that.
Yep.
And I got it off of my Mustang. What year?
Yeah.
That matters.
What generation?
Like, so shopping for used parts is terrible. Like you say, I think it's swap meets, and I would like the original packaging.
At least keep it local.
And
To where, okay, you've got this. I'm going to come. We can meet. I can look at it. I've got cash. You've got my part. We'll go about our day.
right. Yeah. Used parts, man. Remember we told the fiasco of getting the 6.1 for the Charger and how well that went?
Oh, bless Pedro's heart.
This is a very right. Oh goodness. Around this time, you were looking to race your car.
Yeah.
And that's when I got the text message that says you weren't going.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass this over to you and let you elaborate a little bit.
Well, I took my car. I got new tires on it, the radial, stuff like that. Got a car ready to go. I was like, I'm going to take it out, shake it down a little bit, make sure everything's good. And a couple spirited runs, and noticed that the car was pulling left pretty bad, like abnormally bad. So I brought it home, put it on my wheel cribs, and I was like, man, it seems like the rear end is shifted towards the driver's side. Got underneath. I'm like, I measured the bars, upper control arms, measured them. Everything was good. Got digging further. And that's when I noticed that the upper torque box on the passenger side was pulling away from the bulkhead. Before I did all the stuff to the car, I welded around the uppers while there was a section I didn't get. And that's where it started to separate. And then upon further digging, what I believe partly allowed it to happen was I have Wild Ride's battle box torque plate reinforcements in it for the uppers and lowers. That one came loose. The bolts had started to come loose.
Wow.
And when they loosened up, it allowed that torque box to come away from the bulkhead. So everything out. It was an absolute disaster, but we got it mounted. We got the torque box. It wasn't a lot. It was maybe less than a quarter of an inch, but I was able to get it back in there where it should be, welded everything up, Loctited. I took every single bolt out of all the battle boxes and Loctited everything, got it all back in there to where I was. And I left the arms, the uppers, the exact length as when I started. So then when I put it back together, sure enough, it was dead nuts side to side. And then I noticed, man, I had a lot of movement in my lowers. I had the bolts where the bolt goes through the rear end and then into the lower control arm. I had oblonged the aluminum sleeve that's inside the mount or the lower control arm. So down to Team Z I went and had to put new lower control arms in it. And if anybody has a Mustang and if you're thinking, man, I wonder if I should just cheap out and get these single adjustable lower control arms because they're like cheap, don't. The double adjustable life is the life for me from now on. Just the ease. There's nothing worse than trying to adjust because you use the uppers to do your side to side and the the lowers is your front to back to center it in the wheel housing. In order to do that with single adjustable lowers, you have to remove the coil spring, lower the whole side of the rear end down, undo the Heim, in or out, and then put it all back together only to find out that you adjusted it too far and have to take it all back apart again. So after the second or third time of doing that, Team Z helped me out with some lower control arms, some double adjustables, got them things installed and recentered everything. And thankfully she tracks about as true as ever after using the jack stand and string alignment method. That's all tried and true for all of us. It was an ordeal. The car We have a track day coming up the 11th. Just a test and tune here local to us. And if everything goes as well as we hope it does, this is just a temporary fix. Obviously, we all know this car needs some torque boxes put in it.
Yeah, we're just looking to get you through till November, right?
Just through the
a
season.
patch.
Because driving it, it's not bad. And I
Right.
took it out today on the way home. I drove it to work today, and on the way home, laid into it pretty decent, and it tracks just fine. So even under heavy acceleration, even knocking the tire off, it tracks straight as can be. So I'm not too. Obviously, once you get to the track, it's a different story. But
And I don't know, maybe you make a soft hit on the first pass.
I will. Yeah, sure. Just I mean, we say that, and then we leave the damn thing on 26 pounds of boost, and it goes an 870. I wouldn't be pissed.
I think we'd be okay with that.
Let's load it up and go have a.
Yeah, I think we'd be fine with that.
But
that's it was quite alarming at first.
Yeah.
Because it's pulling to the left, which is towards the center of the road in America.
Yeah.
And even I found things tend to pull to the right with the road crown.
Yeah.
And this is in where you live and where I live. It's not like the roads are really that flat most of the time. And so it's like pulling that bad against the crown of the road.
Right.
And
it was making a left turn. Like I let go of the steering wheel.
Yeah.
It was making an abrupt left.
I was super glad you found that and didn't just whatever and go anyway, because that really could have been catastrophic.
Oh yeah. It happened at the track and ripped off. It'd been horrible.
Yeah. So super glad that you found that and got it fixed or whatever, at least for now.
Right.
And you can be safe going forward, because we have families to go home to at the end of the day.
Right. I guess on the way home, I laid into it pretty good a couple times, and she dead hooked. And I brought it home, put it back on my stands, and got underneath it, looked everything over. Everything seems to be still good. So I'm hoping this.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, we all know it's temporary, but hopefully it's temporary to get us through the season.
And I'm encouraged by the fact that I called you and you used, it hasn't ever gone this straight.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I remember repeating that. You're like, yeah, ever. I'm like, okay, fantastic news.
Made me happy for sure. Like she tracks straight as can be. So I'm ready to go get this thing back to the track here next weekend.
So we'll definitely, I'm going to go undecided on how I'm going to handle that, but we're definitely going to get some footage and do a little bit of filming, and some of our mutual friends will be there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that coming the next coming weekend on the 11th.
Hopefully we see the there. Hint, hint. Just throwing that out there.
I guess making the transition, I told you I need to get this thing out, right?
Yeah.
I got all that other stuff behind me. All that's left to do is to get this thing out on the road, and we can figure it out from there.
Exactly.
So I decided to take the step forward and got the plate updated today, and it sat for a couple of years. I have a personalized plate. Like, you have no choice but to re-up on that plate. Otherwise, I think you can like sell it to a family member and all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't interested in any of that. Came home from work today, dived right into working on it, which was the first time I've done in literally years. Put the new battery in it that it needed. I had that tested last night. Gave it a quick oil change. And basically, it was like just before my son's soccer game. And I remember I texted you and I was like, should I drive this to soccer? And you're like, duh.
Yeah.
So I stopped by the old car wash on the way to the soccer fields and cleaned it up real fast, drove it to my kid's soccer game, and he's playing goalie. And I'm pulling into the parking lot, driving slow on the way by, and he's smiling and pointing and telling his friends. And that's the kind of thing that makes this whole deal worth it. Like, you've talked about it several times, like your experiences with Haley in your car. And that was the first time in a very long time that I was able to have a moment like that with my son. And it just, you can't buy moments like that. And that's why we do this whole thing. So he was super excited, and it's ready to go, man. It's like finally. I don't know. I might drive it to work tomorrow. I have to go in at some point this weekend, so I'll probably at least drive it then. Because like on the weekends, things are a little bit more chill, and it's like less, especially being salary, like it's less frowned upon. Hey, come on out to the parking lot and see my cool car. So we're all working for free at that point, anyways. What is anybody going to say?
Fire me. Just kidding. Don't do that.
So, no, I say, please don't. I really need that health insurance. Please don't. Oh, so yeah, I guess we'll see how this next like week or so goes. And maybe bring it to the track next weekend with you. Like that'd be,
even if you don't race it, just drive it on out. So the weather's gonna be looking like 60s, I'd say. So far, I'm not too far out forecast, but
we talked earlier this week, like just by the way events in our life have happened, right? We've never gotten a picture of your car sitting next to mine. Which is just wild, right? Like clearly stuff's been screwed up for quite a while. So we're gonna right that wrong and put that on the Facebook page, maybe the cover photo and all this stuff. And so we need to start doing stuff like that to get some art for the channel.
I think this summer will be a good summer for just getting the cars out, driving them around. We don't always have to go to the track to get the cars together.
Right.
I mean, drive them to meet in Birch Run for dinner sometime or whatever. Just anything.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's the track stuff and events obviously make for good content. And it's not like I recorded what I was doing today. Like clearly nobody wants to watch me do a oil change and put a new battery in. So we're not going to bore you guys with that. So was I.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, hell yeah, dude. It moved out of its spot for the first time since 2020. So congratulations. I'm thankful the tires have air. Shit.
Well, yeah, I have that leak in the right rear. It must be from the rim from when I had it powder coated, I'm guessing. So I probably have to take it somewhere and get some bead seal put on it or whatever. But it's not a super fast leak.
No. 15-inch and bead locks take care of that too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I'll help you spend your money, bro.
Right. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, dude, I've been lighting those online shopping carts on fire, dude, with stuff. Like, I added them, all my tabs. It was 25 grand. I was like, okay, it's got to stop. Just no.
So do I have to contact?
That's a catastrophic.
Do I got to contact Elon Musk and have him take your internet back away or what?
I don't know if did we explain that part of the reason part of the reason we've been gone was I was out without internet for basically 2 weeks. I live in BFE. There's no other internet fast enough for us to even think about doing something like this than Starlink. And if you've ever dealt with Starlink customer service, you know what I'm talking about. Like you contact their support and, try this and try that. And it's all through private messaging on the app. And there's no local tech support. There's no offices, no anything. But they get away with it because the speeds are so fast and you can get it basically anywhere. And for us out here, there's just flat no other choice. So until there's competition out here, like it is what it is. You can get as mad as you want at them. You're still gonna stay.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
There's a company in Davison that will remain unnamed because they advertised 10 megabytes and I was only getting 2, and I threatened to drop their equipment off in their parking lot and set it on fire.
So now you're not able to
It
continue
is
the
what it
business.
is. Yeah, they were pretty glad to come pick up their stuff. They were pretty done with me. I was done with them.
For sure.
So, all good. So, again, that was part of the reason. We've been busy bees. We've been doing our thing. But hopefully we're back now and continue.
Yep.
And say there's events coming up, so we'll have more content. And my car's up and running, your car's up and running. It was just time. April was just a bad time for the podcast, apparently.
I agree.
But yeah, here we are.
Yep.
You got anything else?
No, that was pretty much covered everything I had to say. Mine's way less eventful than your past month, dude. You and your sister, you guys been through hell and back with this whole situation. So, you're super proud of both of you for dealing with things the way you've been dealing with it. You guys have been kicking ass.
No, I appreciate that, definitely. But it is what it is, so I'm excited to move on.
Yeah. It does suck that shop is in such a different location for both of us, because I'm sure it would be a nice place.
Yeah, it would. No, and like you said, with after seeing it empty, like it disgusts me, because I had the kind of it took 30 seconds to stand there. Okay, I'd put a 4-point hoist here, I'd put a 2-point hoist here, have my toolboxes here. Like, being able to look at it objectively like that, whatever. Moving on. So yeah, we'll keep people updated as to what we're doing and everything going forward. All right, if you've made it this far, appreciate you watching. If you liked the episode, please like it. If you didn't, let us know in the comments why. And if you really didn't like it, make sure you subscribe. For more. All right, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you.